H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys supports 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus. One-time pay, lifetime access to live classes and videos. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For free demo class, visit h2kinfosys.com.
To know the columns, what I can do is I can go click on View Object Explorer. I can actually click on View and see Object Explorer, and I can go to Employee and I can see the columns. So I have these columns. So, but how will I know whether this column employee ID is identity column or not? In the previous class, I told one command for seeing the table structure. Anyone remembers that? Sys.columns, we can only see about columns in the table. But my question is, how do I know whether we have identity or not? I told one command in the previous class for knowing the table structure. Anyone remember? Not sys.types also. Sys.types is to verify the data types. Sys.objects is also not the correct answer because sys.objects also for verifying the tables. Anyone remember in the previous class I told sp_help. Anyone remember this? We talked about sp_help, and one more thing for seeing the stored procedures and all. Anyone remember what is it for seeing the text of stored procedures? Yeah, perfect. I got one response. Anyone else remembers how to see a stored procedure query and how to see views, or what is there inside a view and all? We have something called sp_help text. Okay, so when you write sp_help employee, when I click on execute, you can see the table structure, and here you can see that I have all the columns. So sp_help will tell you about all the columns and data types, and here it is showing identity. So we have identity, seed value 1, increment value 1 for which table? For which column? Employee ID. Even it tells you what is the primary key. You have primary key PK, and you have check constraint also on salary. So we have primary key here. What is the primary key? Employee ID. So that tells you the clear, complete details about a table. So what is the command which you have to know? sp_help space table name. That will tell you complete details about your table. So now that we have our table structure, and I notice that we have identity column as well. So now if I want to write a new query to insert the records, what I need to write here is insert into employee, and here I will write from here. I'll be seeing from here. From here I'll be adding it here. Okay, so insert into employee, I'm writing here first name, comma last name, comma department, comma salary, comma DOB, and values. Notice that I'm not writing employee ID. Why I'm not writing employee ID? Because employee ID is identity column. So first name is Meghnad, and last name is whatever it is, comma department is IT department, salary for example $5,000, and date of birth is anything 1/1/1950. Okay, so let me execute this. Now I have added this. I have added one record. So this is how you also should add a record, and then you need to log into the web page, and you need to refresh the page whatever you have, and you will see a record there. So this is what I mean, like you have to learn about how to generate test data. Okay, now you can verify for edit functionality. What you do now, you will click on edit. You will have test case template there, which I will be telling you in some time. So you'll have a test case template where you'll have all the scenario, sub-scenario, expected and actual, and data screen and query used to test. All those things will be there. Now what you need to do, you need to click on edit, and you need to write here 6,000 or whatever, and click on update. And one way to verify whether the salary is updating properly or not is you can go and verify in the table. You can write a select star from employee. and then you can execute this, and you can notice that you have salary 6,000 here. Or one other way is you can actually close the application and open this URL again. In that case, if you are still seeing 6,000, that means the salary is persisted in the database. So that is about updating. And if you want to verify delete, you just need to verify how many records are there now. You have one record in this table employee, and the moment you click on delete, the moment you click on this delete, the record is gone from the UI, and just you need to verify whether the record is gone from the database as well. So that's how you need to ensure that. We'll be using templates for doing this from the next class, but you should be clear on this expectation from a QA. Okay, so let's go back to our slide. So this is what I mean by writing queries to generate mock data in case no UI screen for adding data. Is it clear? Is it making sense, all of you? Okay, now let's try to go next. Let's go to the next slide. Database testing phases. So anyway, no such hard rules for database testing phases like how we have in software development lifecycle phases. Database testing is all about, as I told you, to test the required functionality. I am repeating this third or fourth time today. So however, testing phase includes connecting to database. You should know how to connect to database using two types of authentication modes. What are the two types of authentication modes? All of you, can you ping me in the chat window? What are the two types of authentication modes which we learned in this course? While connecting to database, we will give. We have two authentication modes. Yeah, I got answered from two of you. How about others? Yeah, it is Windows authentication, and the second one is SQL authentication. Okay. Now, so connecting to database and ability to write simple queries or to retrieve or manipulate data using DML operations, and functional flow of the application. So I have one question to all of you here. Can someone tell me the four types of commands we have, and what are the statements that belongs to that commands? For example, you need to tell DML, and what are the commands belong to DML. DDL, what are the commands belong to DDL. So one of you can unmute and tell me. Tell all of us. Who is confident to go on that? Let's make the interactive. It is more or less like I'm speaking. Yeah, Sangeeta. Yeah, Sangeeta, go ahead.
Yeah, email commands are
Can you please be a bit louder?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
DML commands are insert, update, delete.
Okay, one more is there. How to see the data?
Select.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, select. Yeah, now go ahead. So Sangeeta is telling DML, insert, update, delete, and select. Yeah, go ahead with other commands. Yeah.
Then DDL commands are create, drop, truncate.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Next. We have one more in.
Transactional TCL commands.
No, in DDL we have one more. You said three, right?
Create, drop, and truncate.
We have one more. Alter. Perfect. Yeah. Go ahead now. Sangeeta, go ahead. Yeah.
TCL commands, commit and roll back.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. And we have DCL, data control language. Chandra, you want to?
Okay, grant and revoke.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sangeeta. Chandra, you want to give some quickly about all the four again? I think you have complete. Yeah. Can you go ahead with the four, and what are the commands we have inside that?
Okay, data manipulation language, it's select, insert, update, delete.
Perfect.
Data definition language, create, alter, drop, and truncate.
Perfect.
TCL, commit and rollback,
Perfect.
transition control statement,
Yeah.
and data control language, grant and revoke.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So thank you Sangeeta and thank you Chandra for refreshing this. Okay. Now, other than Sangeeta and Chandra, I have a question to all of you. Can anyone tell me the difference between truncate and delete? Other than Sangeeta and Chandra. Truncate and delete. I think I told 2 to 3 differences. Yeah, Ananya, go ahead.
Yeah, delete means deleting data from a table, column by row by row.
Okay.
And while we are giving the delete query, make sure to give backlog, otherwise all the rows will be deleted.
Okay, perfect.
In the truncate, when we use truncate statement, that means the whole table will be deleted, only table structure will be there. In case of delete, we have to give the commit statement to make the changes permanent in the database, otherwise it won't be permanent. And the truncate is only one statement, so we have to be very careful to give truncate statement.
Perfect. So I will ask some questions on this. So which one can be rolled back?
Roll back?
I mean,
for delete statement we can roll back.
Perfect.
So it won't happen. But another one is that delete statement is slow and truncate is fast.
Yeah.
In case we have to clear the database, it's useful to use truncate than delete.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ananya. So that was a clear explanation on delete and truncate. So just to summarize, delete is a DML statement, truncate is a DDL statement. Delete you can use where condition, truncate you cannot use where condition. Delete is faster, delete is slow when compared to truncate, but truncate is faster because it will not have any logs. Okay, and when you delete something, one more point which I told was, if you have some identity column, so when you use delete, so your identity column will continue incrementing even though you delete and insert again, your identity column will continue after where it has for the previous record, maximum record. But when you do truncate, it will start from 1 again, it will start from the initial value. So this point also all of you keep in mind. This also expect when you go for interview, they will expect this point as well. Your identity column will be reset to the first beginning value when you use truncate, but when you use delete, it will continue from where it's already there. For example, if you see here, if you go to SQL Server, when I write this insert statement, for example, as of now I don't have any records, right? When I do this insert, so now if I do select star from employee, you can see that my employee ID is 12. It's not taking from one value. So see here, when I do delete from employee. So when I do delete statement, and then again when I do select, I don't have any records. But when I insert the records, I'm seeing that the identity column is taking 13 now. Previously I had 12, but even though I don't have records, it's not starting from 1. But when I do truncate table, see now. Okay, so when I do insert again, and it starts from 1. Okay, see, that is the difference. Thank you, Ananya. Thank you very much for covering this. Okay, now let's go to the. Yeah, Chandra, go ahead.
That keeps the space, right?
Which one?
Truncate moves the space also that is allocated.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct. You are perfectly right. So the moment you use truncate, the complete information about the table, even identity columns, everything will be gone. When you use truncate, it is more or less like you just created the table. It will even delete all the identity columns. Whatever is related to the table is gone, except table structure will be there. But when you use delete, your identity columns will be there. Even you can use rollback because you have logs for it. So everything will be there. So when using truncate, extremely careful. Be extremely careful, and until you got an approval from your DBA, you should not use any truncate or delete. Okay. So when I was working in one of the previous service-based companies, what happened was, by mistake, one of my colleagues, he thought that he is working on test environment, but he logged into production environment, but he used a delete condition, and he forgot to put where condition, and the table has been, all the records have been deleted, and they actually removed him. But you should be very careful, extremely careful when you are using delete statements. Otherwise, even there are chances like even the company will take a decision on your. First, they will see that if you are a very good employee, if you are consistent, by mistake you do that, they might move to other project. But in case if that brings very a loss for the customer or something, then they can actually take any action on us. So be very careful when using delete or truncate. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so that is about database testing. So when you are using, so you should know about how to connect to the database and ability to write or retrieve or do some manipulate DML operations. And you should understand functional flow of the application, that is called business requirement, business knowledge. And you should be good in table or column level constraints or ability to understand complex queries depending on application complexity. So you